There's a lack of convincing evidence to back up Darwin's claim that there's a common origin to all life. Of course, there's what we call microevolution. Microevolution just says there's a variation between different kinds of animals. And that's true. In my neighborhood back in California, we've got lots of different kinds of dogs. And that's a good example of microevolution, variation between a certain kind of animal. 200 different varieties of dogs. But in the last 150 years, science has failed to substantiate Darwin's claims of macroevolution, which is that all creatures have a common ancestor and that natural selection, acting on random variation, can explain how fish became amphibians, which became reptiles, which became birds and mammals and so forth. The fossil record indisputably shows that the majority, if not all, of the world's 40 phyla, which is the highest category in the animal kingdom, virtually sprang forth with unique new body plans, fully formed, and without transitionary fossils preceding them. There's absolutely no evidence of this gradual evolution that Darwin predicted. In fact, if you were to condense the history of the world into one 24-hour period, all of these life forms would have sprung forth in a mere 60 seconds. Friends, the fossil record has just failed to substantiate these grandest claims of Darwinism. Darwin knew it was a problem, but he predicted 150 years ago, he said, well, future discoveries will bear out my theory. They haven't. And when you think of Darwinian evolution makes the claim that a bat and a whale have the same common ancestor, would you not think we would have millions of transitionary fossils between those two, growing into those two kinds of animals? We don't. Science has not found it. No wonder that 100 scientists from a wide range of disciplines, with doctorates from places like Cambridge, Stanford, Cornell, Yale, Rutgers, Chicago, Princeton, Berkeley, Purdue, Michigan, and Temple, including professors from Yale Graduate School, MIT, Tulane, Rice, Emory, and the University of California and elsewhere, recently signed what they call a scientific dissent from Darwinism. This is what they declared. They took out a 2-page magazine ad and said, quote, "We are skeptical of the claims for the ability of random mutation and natural selection to account for the complexity of life." In other words, the emperor of evolution has no clothes. And I agree. I agree. As Marx said, friends, this is not a faith versus science issue. This is science versus science. And I was forced to conclude that believing in Darwinism would require a leap of faith that I was simply unwilling to make.